Okay, for one more episode, DK? Your wish is my command. Well, I was gonna do this anyway, so not like you won't have much to do with it. Greetings all, it's Blue Knight, and welcome back to Donkey Kong 64. Previously, we took care of Cable once and for all, and sent it back to wherever he came from, thus saving DK Isle. And for a while, it turned out to be for quite some time that we did save the Isle from any threat. Today, now that we have eternal peace for the DK crew, at least until the next time they had to go on an adventure, or at least when DK had to go on an adventure again, we're gonna go through some of the post-game stuff we can do now that we have completed everything we can do in the adventure mode. And by post-game, I mean that there's a lot of stuff we unlock elsewhere in the game now that we have collected everything we could do in the main game. And most of that has to do with the mystery option, the one with the banana fairy icon. If you go here before you even start the game or probably to get that far in, it wouldn't matter as much to you as it would when you did go through the entire adventure. For a certain amount of banana fairies you do collect, you will unlock a specific category in this option. 2 is the minimum, and the maximum amount to unlock everything is 20, which happens to be the amount of banana fairies that you can collect in the entire game. So for 2, you get the DK Theater option, which unlocks all the cinematics that you can view in the main adventure. You can just view for free here once you do unlock the the DK Theater option, like I said before. However, I don't think it unlocks the secret ending option though. I went through the entire category before I started recording this, and this end sequence, it just shows the credit screen. Maybe the bonus scene is linked to the credits? Possibly? I'm not sure about that. But you can view anything cinematic wise from any of the intros for the levels to the DK rap again if you don't want to sit through just booting up the game. I'm not sure why you want to do that, but it's there if you want to get it like instantly, I suppose. For 6 fairies, you unlock the DK bonus category, which allows you to play some of the mini games that we did come across our adventure. Stuff like the Jetpack and the DK arcade games, but unlocks 2 new things that we can't go through, which is what I will be showing off momentarily, the Rabi and the Unguard arenas. For 10 fairies, you unlock the bosses category, which allows you to pick any of the bosses that you can fight again that you did beat at any point in the adventure, all except for the final one though. This is because that the final boss, King Crusher Carol, can be accessed by going through the opening of his ship again back in the adventure mode. It was going to be included in this category originally, known as the main event, but was taken out because you could just access it through another source of means. For 15, you unlock something called Battle Crusher option. This is just for multiplayer. You get to play as any of the 5 Kongs of the DK crew as a playable in the multiplayer option, but if you collect this amount of fairies, then you unlock a 6th character which you can toggle on and off by pressing Z. I personally have never fiddled around with this before. I have gone to a little bit of research on what Crusher is. It turns out that this specific character was an enemy in DK country games in the past, and I guess it was going to be included in this game at some point as well, but it ended up being relegated to a multiplayer character later on. I'm not sure how this character is played, as I've rarely seen gameplay footage of this before. That's just me not looking out for it that often. So the day I do come across this to cover like fully will be a pretty interesting one for us all. And for collecting all of the banana fairies, you unlock the cheats option, which you can toggle various amount of stuff, like all the cheats if you want to, on or off, or just specific elements like coins, ammo, oranges, some of the stuff. also include the coconuts and the instruments. But this thing, film, this, if you have it on, will skip all the cinematics if you're playing an incompleted file. So if you want to get through the game faster, or if you want to speedrun this game, I'm not sure this is allowed or not to be toggled on for legit speedruns. If you want to have this on and just skip by all the cinematic films slash movies of the game, they can do that too. Or if you want a super easy ride, just turn all of them on, or specific amounts, or categories like I said before. So that's all the things you get for collecting the fairies. It's not just for like progression's sake, which is pretty cool. The next thing I want to show off is briefly we'll go into Cog Battle, which is the multiplayer option that I mentioned. There are two maps you can choose from. This, by just going up and down, you can pick any of these selected maps for up to 4 players of multiplayer mayhem, or take on all of your friends at once in the Battle Arena option. This can range from any specific amount of modes actually, but this is something I'll go over at another point, as I actually don't have anyone that I want to play multiplayer with right now. But that's just a sign of things to come. First you gotta select all the characters that you want to have participated though. And there are certain match types that you can't choose from as well, like just regular battling to a King of the Hill or Capture the Flag type of mode, to a coin hoard mode if you remember that from Smash Brothers. So there are some variety in Cog Battle as well, a very surprising amount for multiplayer as well, considering this is like a platforming game and most of the focus is on single player. It's pretty surprising. It's so cool that they went through a lot of effort to include as much variety as they did into their multiplayer. Before we go back into the main option, because there's one thing I do want to go over in the single player category. I did say I want to tackle the Rabi and Unguard arenas, and we'll be doing just that. So we'll go through Rabi first. And I did go over this before, just as like practice runs in the past, and this is my more favorite of the two, since you get to play as Rabi, and do the following. Hit the moving targets to increase your score. So Rabi just gets less balloons free, and can ram down as much of these knives as possible. There is a yellow one, as we just saw, that's worth bonus points. You can chain them together by increasing your score, just hitting them multiples in a row. But the bonus wears off really quickly though, so you gotta hope that they all group up very fast. That way you can extend your combo as much as you want. This isn't a hard mini game to do at all. It's very fun and kind of relaxing too if you just want to have some way to fulfill your appetite destruction, more or less. The knives will infinitely respawn, so this will keep going until the time runs out. And there's no need to use the charge option as well that we did use just the one time back in Jungle Japes. There really is no point for it. Looks like I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna top my score this time. It's kind of unfortunate, but I may have broken the top 5 at least. Yep, I did. Not that hard to do at all. It's very, very fun and very easy. The other one, the Rabi Arena, as soon as I input my initials in. There we go. 3rd place, that's not bad at all. But you can't do a lot better before. I didn't mean to go back. I had one run. One run is good enough for this. I want to go through a guard now, just to give him his time in the sun. So I want to hit B instead, not A. So now on guard, this mode I rarely tackle because it's not as fun to me. It focuses more on maneuvering than knocking down enemies. Swim through the stars to increase your score. The reason why I don't play this as much as the Rabi one is because one, like I said, not as exciting as ramming down a bunch of enemies in your wake. But 2, I really don't feel that confident in my maneuvering with a guard at all. I may have shown off decently enough in the main series, but I really don't feel that confident in my skill when it comes to using a guard for this arena option. It's not bad at all, it's just me not having enough practice with this specific character, even though I do like a guard a lot. The main objective I have here, quote unquote, is to break at least 100 points. That was way off on the star there. Bringing 100 at least will get me into the ranking list. Looks like I'll be able to do that. Nice. I know those stars on the surface, they're worth a lot more points than the ones underwater. 120, that's not bad. Maybe I could do better with a little more practice, but I'm not gonna fiddle around with this too much. Perhaps I'll do it again another time on my off time if I ever feel the need to do so. And that's pretty much all we could do here in the mystery option. So we'll go back to the adventure and show off one last thing we could do that we did see before for a brief amount of time. So that's all we could do. Wait, mission complete, Kong. Let's do a kill now, shall we? Oh, I did not expect it to say anything after we already got all the blueprints. Hate to break it to you, Snide, but we already got all the blueprints. In fact, we evicted Rool from the vicinity of DK Isle. He's not coming back anytime soon. You're free to do whatever you want, man. Whatever you want to do in your spare time, it's not any problem of mine anymore. Come to think of it, what did happen to Snide after this game? I'm not sure what did occur. So, I did go through this off screen, or temporarily in the main series at first. This option in particular, it's not anything special. I'll go over that momentarily. First off, this is the bonus menu that you get for collecting all the blueprints. It shows some of the minigames that you can't go through, not all of them. Not like the ones you have to collect stuff, or just collect coins, such as the swimming minigame or the vine swinging minigame. Those aren't included here, probably because they're not as interesting enough as these to be included in this bonus menu. Yeah, the day that Beaver Bother managed to out some minigames when it comes to being included in this menu, that's kind of a sad thing to think about. As far as Bonker's Barrel Bandit is concerned, that's just a slot machine minigame that we had to go through. We didn't see that for quite a while after like the early to mid game portion. So that's why I never showed up again, and that's why I was confused about this particular name. I thought it'd be something different, like as a completionist tree for collecting everything, or at least all the blueprints in the game to unlock this. No, it's one of the existing ones that we did go through in the past. And that's not all I want to show off here. By staying on this menu and pressing A and B at the same time, I hope this works. Ah, yeah, it did work. Sweet. So staying on that menu and pressing A and B simultaneously will take you to this room. This is a test room that the developers would use to work on the game, slash iron out some stuff, slash just do what developers do, essentially. There's not much to it, just another DK clone, which from what I understand was used to test out the main menu animations that we saw if you leave the main menu idle enough and let DK just stand around and let various things happen. By shooting this balloon, you will get some bananas. Supposed to shoot it, there we go. But not much comes of it. You can also damage yourself by using the orange grenade. I missed that time. Okay, let me angle it this time. I know I can do it. Trust me, this is capable. It's not just the test would be different, it's just me sucking. There we go. The sound effect for gain damage will go off, but you can't lose any health in here. Like I said, this is a testing room, so there will be no point in dying in this if you did lose health for any reason. As for walking off into the darkness, the game just teleports you back onto the map, so that's all there is to it. There isn't anything on these platforms, and as far as leaving this room is concerned, the only way to do that is by resetting the game. Yeah, the pause function doesn't work here for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but that's just how it is. That's pretty much all there is to it for this test room. It's kind of barren, but what can you expect? This was an element that the developers would use to work on the game and just iron out some stuff, like I said before. And there are two more cheats that I want to go over as well as we're just running along here, since there isn't much else we could do except go through the DK clone over and over again. The two cheats that I actually forgot to mention during our runs through the mystery option is that one was an unused cheat that did not get into the final game. It would be a debug menu that would go by the name debug pause. If you know anything about debug menus, then you know that's just used to like fiddle around with various variables slash elements of the game that you can just do to your heart's content. Once again, it was a tool that developers use to make video games slash programmers as well, I think. The second thing was not included in the North American release would be a language option. You can access this through a game shark code, which is the another way that you can get to this room as well is by game sharking. But if you were capable of switching or fiddling around with that in any way, then the game would crash. However, from what I understand, this language menu is in the European version. So maybe there's some programming hoo-ha that I don't know about that makes the PAL version capable of being run in the game, but not the North American copy. That's probably why that it was included in the European release and cannot be functional in the North American one. That's gotta be it. And that's pretty much all I want to show off when it comes to the bonus stuff. Well, apart from the multiplayer things that we can't see yet, that's because I actually have to get people for that, and I am in no shape to actually do that at the moment. That's something I do want to go over someday as I phase through DK, or at least a DK clone. But it's something I'm just not capable of doing right now. It is something I want to go over at some point in the future. I just don't have the means for it right now. I just gotta get over myself and actually talk to people about wanting to do multiplayer stuff, but that's not gonna happen for a while. Besides, it's not the only case of multiplayer stuff that I have to go over on this channel yet. I mean, Sly 3, that's another thing I have to do. Star Fox 64, that's another case of multiplayer stuff that I have to go over as of yet. So, my multiplayer backlog is just growing and growing, that's all I'm saying. I will get to those at some point, not sure when though, it won't be for a while. And if I'm able to get this out in time, which I should be able to, this will be the last video of 2019. This particular series was very, very surreal to go over because it felt like it was going slow for a while and then just sped up through the end. I was capable of actually getting a new desktop machine to edit on. So making videos from here on out won't be as stressful as it used to be, which is what I'm really thankful for. So with that being said, thank you all for watching so much. This was one of the more heavier projects I had to go through, with this being like one of the kings of collect-a-thons. But I was able to see this through to the very end. 101% and all, except for the multiplayer stuff, like I said. But I got plans for that some other time. Not sure when that's going to be executed, though. So, we're going to leave DK along with his clone slash doppelganger slash whatever this is here, and just leave the two to, I guess, converse in limbo, as we will be seeing DK on the channel for quite a while. That being said, I'll be seeing you in the next decade, because I am aiming to get my next project out within the first month of 2020, either in January or early February at the latest. That's my time window. I hope you all had a great 2019 and had a good decade in general. I know a lot happened in the 2010s, but I feel more than ready to move on into the next decade, as it's gonna be, well, a new start for us all. So don't use dwelling on the past, let's just focus on the future and see what it brings. So I'll be seeing you in the next year, whatever that will be. So until the next project comes, farewell for now, And once again, thanks for watching.